Hello and welcome to the King's Forest, scene of the level 21 episode of the Chronicles of the Purple Knight. Sorry Mikkels, it does roll along quite a bit quicker once you get into epics, which I'm sure you know. So generally speaking, well, in my experience anyway, the heroic lives take a lot longer, especially if you start down at 1 and you're not doing it as an iconic. I have taken on board some of the advice from the epic writer of advisory literature in the last episode. So I've added the ring of spell storing from my main character because he's not using it at the moment anyway, and that's already come in more than handy. It allows you to not to have to rest at the shrines. Now there's nothing wrong with resting at the shrines, but in my case I have a truckload of buffs to recast, both the longer term ones here on the second bar and the short term ones down here. So if I can avoid it by just adding, what does that add? Maybe on average maybe 1,000 spell points extra it gives you. For anybody who didn't know, the Ring of Spell Storing is one of the drops in the Desert Sands Wilderness, and if you have collected enough bronze tokens from running through those quests, 625 of those will get you one of these from the vendor in the Desert Sands. I did a little video on trading bronze tokens for an item, if that could be of interest, and then all you have to do is upgrade it exactly as I upgraded my epic zoom, which is the sword that we're using at the moment. Quests that we've done up to this point. So we completed the Von chain, so Von 2, which is called the Prisoner I think, Von 3, the Jungle of Khyber, and Von 4, the Haywire's Foundry. I won't say any were easy, particularly the third one, the boss at the end, the is it Maralith or something, that big metal looking thing. That took ages to chip down with all its damage reduction, and of course me being me, I went in there low on spell points, ran out halfway through, couldn't heal myself, and that was all she wrote. I used the gibbers to be able to get back to a shrine and complete the quest, but it was needless, totally avoidable. So yes, Von 2, 3 and 4, Spies in the House we did, and also the first one in this King's Forest. There are 3 quests in the King's Forest, for those of you who didn't know, which comprise the first 3 of the 4 quests in the Eveningstar 1 chain. The first one is at the Middle of Farmstead, a very quick one to kill a priestess, which we've already done. And this is the second one, Deep Glen Graveyard. I think the quest is called the Unquiet Graves. I have also taken advice and added some damage over time options on here. We've got the Black Dragon Bolt and the one that was advised, the Rend the Soul. Thank you very much for that. It is as good as you promised, and for the long range things, like for example in Spies, the fire elementals that don't always want to come towards you, hitting them with this thing was a very nice way to wipe them out, or indeed anything from longer range. It's something else that can be used perhaps instead of the Finger of Death. Of course, not everything is susceptible to negative damage. Some of the golems in the, well, all of the golems I bet in the Von 4 were immune to it, but to get that going on a boss type character is a nice little boost. So thanks for that. What else have we got to share? The feat I took at 21, overwhelming critical, to give us, I think when we roll a 19 or 20 on our attack roll, the critical multiplier goes up by 1, so that's nice. And And the only other thing I noted, which is an obvious one, in the Von 3, which is full of beholders in one section, you at least don't get subject to the energy drain being undead in the lich form. So that's good. You don't get the negative levels. They still take your buffs and things away, but no negative levels was nice, as I don't have a spell resistance or absorption item like the Pale Lavender Ironstone on this character. And the Finger of Death as well for the beholders. If I could get to see them before they saw me and hit them with this, their fortitude save is pretty low, and it was just like one-shot kills. It was basically who saw who first. If they saw me first, I'd get this anti-magic thing, and I'd have to hack them to bits with the sword then. Speaking of sword, I was definitely planning to, to try the various epic destinies, see how they fit with this build. So we've swapped out of the Fate Singer more or less. We're trying the Fury this time, so it should be something I'm reasonably familiar with, because it's the same or similar playstyle to the Hunt's End and Sniper Shot thing the ranged classes use. So you just hit adrenaline, and then this Boulder's Might from the Fury tree, which gives a big attack with extra critical multiplier. Or we can hit adrenaline and then go with the Tempest, which hopefully might make a mess of all surrounding enemies if I can time that right. So that's the basic thing there. The other thing that did catch my eye, the mantle in Fury helps with damage to helpless opponents. Now, we deal quite often in helpless opponents with this mass hold, so to have an extra 9%, so that's putting us on 34% extra damage, if my math is right now, against the things that are held, which would include the Reapers. So that, coupled with the an adrenaline shot, should be really hurting anything that's been held in the mass hold. Not so for the disco ball, that doesn't cause helpless, unfortunately. It's still very useful. Right, so the basic premise of this quest is to kill the, is it 3 or is it 4 necromancers that are raising the dead in the graveyard, if you didn't know.
The abandoned village is very quiet, but the air is still. An unnatural chill hangs in the air. Something is very wrong here.
I should imagine by the time I'd finished all these buffs, a normal group would be halfway through the quest already. Right, okay. So he's the first one.
Uninterested by your presence. He makes no move to attack you as you approach.
Hit him with the big single target spells. Oh! The screen just popped up with something else there. I doubt that they'll be affected by negative, but we can try. Maybe. Would the drow be susceptible? Let's try. Oh yes, very nice. I had a look at the suggested feat for 24, the Master of Death. Now, if the description was right, which says that it boosts both negative energy burst and death aura by 10 levels each, that would be amazing. But apparently it's been bugged for a long time and only works for negative energy burst. But still might be a competitive choice for us when we reach that level.
Necromancer is raising the dead. Not even death can free the people of this land against
Get some damage over time down. Big booms. adrenaline. Oh, what's going on here? My screen keeps wanting to open something else.
A dark encanter has been eliminated. Crush the rest.
So yes, that
Rest in peace.
adrenaline is working very nice. Sorry, not the adrenaline. The Rend the Soul is working very nicely. So another super piece of advice by our thesis writing friend in the comments. Let's keep the
So what's on for today? Creatures to slay,
buffs
evil
going.
overlords to depose.
Trees have been uprooted in this area. The drow must have dug deep to find as many bodies as they could.
Down they go!
Another encounter has been defeated.
Okay. Let's try you with that. You can have some. Oh, I missed. That's the one bad thing about the adrenaline. You don't. You actually have to hit them with the shot. When you've got a ranged character going, you just press the thing and it just goes usually where it's supposed to. I think we now have to go back to the middle, don't we? Yeah. Okay. That's nice.
Have been repelled. The dead rest once more. Eveningstar will want word of these ill tidings indeed.
Okay, not too bad. So, what do we think of the Fury so far against the Fate Singer one? Well, the Fate Singer had 2 attacks in it. Well, I suppose this does as well. You have to press adrenaline first and then the other one. But I'm more familiar with this this kind of system because I do have a ranged character who it's hunt's end and sniper shot, just the 2 together, and it kind of becomes second nature. And as we build up the tree, we could get increasingly nasty attacks. This 75% boost, I think, can become over 200 perhaps, maybe even more than that. I'm not quite sure. Let's have a look. And this bonus to helpless damage, I think that is increased as well. That's something I'm very interested in. Unfortunately, the other side of the mantle, the positive healing side, is nerfed twice. Once by Reaper and once by the fact we're undead. It's something, which is better than nothing, but not amazing. So there, running in the mantle is getting us a bit of fort bypass and another 9% damage to helpless, so a total of 18, which isn't bad at all. If we took the Crush Weakness feat, which I think you can get from level 25, is it? We could add another 15 to that, so we could end up doing over 50% bonus damage to the helpless, which, given that we like to use the hold mass, not too much in that last one because there were quite some sort of shambling undeads and things, but yeah, that could be a plan. I'm sure I saw some oh, there we go. Oh no, that's not it. The Primal Scream, unfortunately, isn't particularly good for us because that's not boosting intelligence. Oh, some more strike through would be welcome though, and I think there's some double strike in there as well. I can't select any other things because we're in a wilderness zone at the moment. But no, that went pretty well. I think we're on the right track. I don't know now whether to. I think I'll persist with this for now. I like fairly simple to use things, and you can't get much simpler than press one key and then press the second key. So, and the sort of helpless damage and all the rest and the healing is going on in the background. So maybe this might suit. An extra strike through and double strike and stuff in this tree will go nicely too. Obviously I'm not really checking what's going on at the top tier because we're never going to get to use that, just TRing at the cap. For those who didn't know, I tend to do that with purple because the farming and messing about trying to get gear together to do quests at the cap would take me forever. So I'd prefer to just delve into a next life at that point and see what that has in store. Okay, I think that about wraps it up for that one. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you very much as always for looking, and I will speak to you soon. Take care.